Welcome back to the channel where rare coins meet big money, and today's spotlight is shining brighter than ever on a coin that has become legendary in the world of numismatics, the 1955 wheat penny, a coin that at first glance may appear to be just another copper cent from mid-20th century America, but in reality, it has stunned collectors and historians alike with its extraordinary value. With a face value of just 1 cent and a shocking collectible price tag of up to $26 million in rare instances due to its dramatic errors and historical mystique, and today we're diving into every detail, every possibility, and every rare mistake that makes this iconic cent not just an anomaly in the minting process but a miracle in the realm of numismatic treasures. And as you hold your own pennies and wonder about their potential, this story of the 1955 wheat penny might just transform the way you see every coin in your pocket, because this isn't just a tale of copper and zinc, it's a tale of a nation's production missteps, human error, and the thrilling chase for collectors to get their hands on one of the most mysterious and profitable coins in history, beginning in the post-war boom of the 1950s when the U.S. Mint was churning out millions of coins daily to meet the expanding needs of a growing economy. The Philadelphia Mint was among the busiest, producing vast quantities of the Lincoln wheat penny, which had become a staple of American currency since its introduction in 1909. To honor Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, but in 1955, an error occurred that would change the landscape of coin collecting forever, an error so obvious, so dramatic, and so visually striking that even the most untrained eyes could recognize something was off. And what makes this particular error so remarkable is its nature, the famous 1955 double die obverse, where the design elements of the coin, most notably the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date, 1955, appear significantly and clearly doubled, not in a subtle misalignment or ghostly shadow like other lesser errors, but in a bold and unmistakable second impression, caused during the die creation process, where a die, the stamp used to strike the design onto the blank coin, was accidentally struck twice out of alignment, resulting in this breathtaking and valuable anomaly. And though thousands of these coins were minted with the error, only a fraction made it into circulation, creating a sudden buzz among collectors and general citizens who found them mixed into rolls of coins or as unexpected change, and what followed was a national treasure hunt, with some lucky individuals unknowingly spending them, others hoarding them, and a few recognizing their uniqueness and holding on tightly as news spread of their worth. And what adds even more intrigue to the 1955 wheat penny story is the fact that most of these error coins were released at night by mistake when quality control was less stringent, and instead of being caught and melted down, thousands slipped through the cracks into circulation, forever escaping their fate and entering the numismatic market. And since then, collectors have obsessed over these coins, with pristine examples fetching astronomical prices, especially those graded in mint state condition with sharp doubling and minimal wear. And while a worn specimen might bring a few $1,000s, it's the untouched, gem-quality versions with full details and radiant luster that can soar into the millions. And in one particularly jaw-dropping private sale, a near-perfect 1955 double die penny was rumored to have sold for an incredible $26 million, a figure driven by not just rarity, but condition, provenance, and the fierce competition among elite collectors who view these coins not just as currency but as historical artifacts and financial investments. And there are even conspiracy theories and whispered rumors within the collector community that suggest the mint may have allowed the error to slip out intentionally, perhaps to stir public interest in coin collecting or as a covert operation by rogue employees. Though unproven, such theories only add to the coin's mystique and perceived value. And even among the known examples of the 1955 double die penny, there are subcategories and microscopic variations in the doubling, such as coins with slightly shifted second impressions or those with additional die cracks and planchet flaws, all of which are catalogued meticulously by experts and graded accordingly. And these minuscule differences can spell the difference between a 5-figure and an 8-figure sale. And it doesn't stop there, because over the decades, some 1955 pennies have been found with other extraordinary anomalies layered onto the already famous doubling, such as off-center strikes, clipped planchets, cuds from die breakage, and even misalignments in the reverse design, creating multi-error coins that are virtually priceless. And these rare combinations are what truly push values to unimaginable heights, like the $26 million mark, as they combine several numismatic phenomena into a single copper disc barely an inch across. And while the vast majority of pennies from 1955 are worth only face value, this one exceptional variant has captivated the imaginations of seasoned experts and new hobbyists alike, spurring a relentless search through old jars, attic boxes, inherited collections, and forgotten bank rolls in hopes of uncovering the holy grail of American coinage, and to fully grasp why such a coin commands such an extraordinary price, it's essential to understand the intersection of historical context, minting technology, human error, and market psychology, where the intense demand from collectors, combined with the finite and dwindling supply of high-quality specimens, fuels an ever-rising valuation, especially as awareness of the coin spreads through documentaries, internet forums, auction houses, and viral videos, and as time progresses, coins with prominent errors like the 1955 double die become more than collectibles, they become cultural icons, physical embodiments of human imperfection, and unexpected survivors of a bureaucratic process that usually strives for perfection. And among the pantheon of error coins, the 1955 wheat penny stands at the summit, not only because of its stunning visual doubling but also because of its timing in history, surfacing in a decade marked by post-war optimism, industrial expansion, and the dawn of modern coin collecting, and it is this rare alchemy of visual anomaly, historical placement, and rarity that makes the coin so compelling and so phenomenally valuable. And when collectors pay millions for a single penny, they are not just acquiring metal, they are acquiring a story, a tangible piece of American history, and a marvel of flawed production that ironically resulted in minting perfection from an investment standpoint. And as more examples are graded and authenticated by top-tier certification companies, only a select few achieve the highest designations of mint state 65 red or higher, and these specimens are often locked away in private vaults, passed between elite collectors and institutions, each transaction raising the stakes and the perceived market value. And this cycle of scarcity and prestige has elevated the 1955 double die to legendary status, especially as the broader public becomes more aware of its existence and potential worth. And with every new auction, every YouTube video, every Reddit thread, the mystique grows, turning a 70-year-old mistake into a multi-million-dollar masterpiece. And so if you've ever doubted the power of a small coin to carry a big story, let the 1955 wheat penny be your ultimate proof, because it embodies everything that makes numismatics thrilling: the detective work, the chase, the discovery, and the reward. And in a world of digital currency and plastic transactions, this humble copper penny serves as a vivid reminder that even in the smallest corners of history, great fortunes and unforgettable stories can be found. And if you're lucky enough to hold one in your hand, know that you're not just holding a coin, you're holding a mystery, a legacy, and perhaps a multi-million-dollar treasure. And with that, thank you for diving into this incredible journey with us. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more rare coin stories that could change your life, and turn on notifications so you never miss a moment of history hiding in your change drawer. Next. Today we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and jaw-dropping stories in the world of numismatics, the story of how a single 1958 wheat penny, a coin that originally cost just 1 cent, became one of the most prized and mysteriously valuable coins in history, reaching a staggering valuation of $16 million. Yes, you heard that right, $16 million for a 1-cent coin. And the reason behind this astronomical value lies in a unique and rare combination of minting errors, historical context, and collector demand that turned an ordinary piece of currency into a legendary treasure. So if you're someone who thinks the change rattling in your drawer is just spare junk, think again, because hidden among those seemingly worthless coins might be a jackpot waiting to be discovered. And now let's explore the full story of the 1958 wheat penny and unravel what makes it one of the most extraordinary coins to have ever existed in the American numismatic landscape. Starting from the basics, the 1958 wheat penny was minted in Denver, as indicated by the D mint mark, and it was one of the final years of the iconic Lincoln wheat design which had graced the reverse of the penny since 1909, designed by Victor David Brenner to commemorate Abraham Lincoln's centennial. And while most 1958 pennies are quite common, numbering in the hundreds of millions, what sets this specific coin apart is a series of unexplained and almost miraculous errors that align so perfectly that they create a numismatic phenomenon so rare it almost sounds fictional. Among the most stunning features of the $16 million 1958 wheat penny is the presence of a double die obverse, a dramatic and unmistakable doubling of the letters and numbers on the front of the coin. And what makes this particularly strange is that officially, no double die errors were ever recorded or confirmed for the 1958 minting process, making this coin an apparent anomaly. The double die effect, where the design appears twice in slightly offset positions due to a misalignment during the die creation process, is most famous in the 1955 double die penny, but to have such a sharp and clean doubling on a 1958 wheat penny was previously thought to be non-existent or at the very least, unrecorded until this coin surfaced. The doubling is so pronounced that collectors and experts alike have been left stunned, with clear shadows on the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," as well as the date itself. 1958 inch, showing bold and unmistakable overlap of design, adding a level of curiosity that makes experts question how this piece slipped through the rigorous checks at the Denver Mint. And if that wasn't enough, this penny is also struck on a transitional planchet, meaning it was struck using the metal composition intended for a different year or denomination. And in this particular case, some evidence suggests the coin might have been struck on a leftover planchet from a 1943 steel penny, a wartime emergency measure that was never supposed to be reused, leading to questions about how such a blank remained in the mint system for over a decade, further increasing its mystique and value. And as if the doubling and transitional planchet weren't enough to drive its worth into the stratosphere, this unique 1958 D penny also has alignment anomalies, with the mint mark itself slightly off-center and rotated at a degree that indicates manual repunching, a process sometimes done at the mint when the initial punch was not well aligned. And while repunched mint marks are not uncommon, having one combined with a doubled die and struck on the wrong planchet is a trifecta of error that makes this coin almost mythic. The copper coloration also shows signs of improper alloy mix, resulting in slight discoloration or spotting that sets it apart even more, as alloy inconsistency points to further production abnormalities. And then comes the final layer of intrigue: the coin's exceptional condition, as this particular specimen has been graded at the highest possible tier for its type, boasting an almost untouched surface with full original luster, no circulation wear, and perfect eye appeal, making it not only a rare error coin but also a near-perfect physical specimen. And when all these factors combine, the double die obverse never officially recorded for the 1958 D series, the transitional steel planchet, the repunched mint mark, the alloy inconsistencies, and its pristine mint state condition, you get a coin that stands entirely on its own in the history of American currency, a perfect storm of circumstances that essentially birthed a one-of-a-kind artifact. And it's not just collectors or enthusiasts who find this penny compelling, as professional numismatists and auction houses have verified its authenticity and documented its story through extensive testing, metallurgical analysis, and historical research, all of which confirm that this is no doctored coin or counterfeit but an authentic and inexplicable creation of the U.S. Mint. And due to its combination of errors and minting quirks, it has shattered previous valuation records for error pennies, with a final private sale closing at $16 million, making headlines across the numismatic community and beyond, drawing attention from mainstream media and turning the spotlight on what was once considered the humblest form of money, the 1-cent coin. And now you might be asking yourself, how such a mistake could happen in a facility as secure and systematic as the Denver Mint. But therein lies the allure, because the world of coin production, while based on precision and automation, is still subject to human oversight, mechanical wear, and procedural inconsistencies. And occasionally these rare, beautiful, and highly valuable anomalies sneak past the systems, either due to shifts in minting equipment, incorrect die setups, or transitional periods in production processes. And in this case, theory suggests that an experimental die or a retired steel planchet might have been mistakenly or secretly used, possibly by a mint worker curious about creating a numismatic curiosity. And while there's no official confirmation on the origin story, the very mystery behind its creation only adds to its legendary status. And then there's the story of how the coin was discovered, which reads like a modern treasure hunt, as it was found by a collector going through rolls of pennies purchased from a local bank. And upon noticing something odd about the coin's doubling and unusual coloration, they submitted it for authentication, never imagining that they were holding a multi-million-dollar artifact in their hand. And once authenticated and its rarity verified, the coin's fame spread like wildfire across numismatic circles, forums, auction houses, and media outlets. And this story is not just about one lucky find, it's also about the potential lying dormant in everyday items, especially coins, as error coins have long fascinated collectors because they combine history, mystery, and monetary value all in a single small object. And the 1958 D penny stands as a testament to the notion that even in a world dominated by digital finance and plastic currency, there remains a deep and powerful fascination with tangible historical items, particularly those that challenge what we thought we knew about production standards. And what this also reveals is the enduring demand in the collector market for unique coins, with the most passionate collectors willing to spend millions for a piece that cannot be replicated, cannot be found again, and carries with it a story rich in curiosity and historical relevance. And that demand only continues to grow as awareness spreads through social media, coin conventions, and digital auction platforms. And now more than ever people are searching through their spare change, revisiting their old piggy banks, and inheriting coin jars with a new eye for detail, looking for double dies, repunchment marks, planchet anomalies, off-center strikes, and anything else that might turn pocket change into generational wealth. So if you ever come across a 1958 Dewey penny, take a second look, and maybe even a third, because while most of them are worth just a cent or a few dollars at best, there's always that one, that miraculous, error-riddled, perfectly preserved, million-dollar unicorn hiding in plain sight, waiting to change someone's life. And this story stands not only as a fascinating look into the quirks of minting history but also as a compelling reminder to always be curious, because in the world of coins, even the smallest piece can hold the biggest secret. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of rare and valuable coins and want to discover more astonishing stories like this one, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a chance to uncover hidden treasures that might just be sitting right in your pocket. Last, we dive deep into the fascinating world of rare coins, hidden treasures, and unexpected fortunes sitting quietly in people's pockets, drawers, or tucked away in old jars. And today's incredible journey is going to leave you absolutely stunned because we're unraveling the jaw-dropping story behind a 1957 wheat penny that, believe it or not, is valued at a staggering $21 million, a value that seems surreal for a simple 1-cent coin, but once you peel back the layers of history, rarity, minting quirks, and numismatic intrigue surrounding this little copper relic, you'll understand why collectors around the globe are willing to shell out such mind-blowing sums of money. And if you're sitting there thinking a coin from 1957 couldn't possibly be worth that much, then get ready, because this isn't just any ordinary penny. It's a coin born from a perfect storm of mint errors, historical circumstances, unexpected anomalies, and a rarity that borders on myth. So let's dive head first into the story that makes this 1957 wheat penny one of the most prized and talked about coins in American numismatic history. And it all starts with understanding the context of its production, because in 1957, the United States Mint was still striking the Lincoln wheat cent, a design that had been introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln on the centennial of his birth. And though billions of wheat pennies were struck from 1909 until 1958, making most of them relatively common, it's the subtle nuances and unpredictable mistakes in minting that set certain specimens apart. And the 1957 penny in question is one of those extraordinary rarities that carries an astronomical value due to a precise combination of factors, starting with the type of errors it contains, beginning with a dramatic double die obverse error where the inscriptions such as, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date, 1957, appear noticeably doubled under magnification, a rare and sought-after error that significantly boosts a coin's desirability among collectors. And in this case, the doubling is unusually crisp and bold, suggesting a major misalignment during the hubbing process when the coin's die was being created. But that's not all, because this coin also exhibits what experts refer to as a repunchment mark, where the D, for Denver Mint, appears to have been stamped more than once in slightly different positions, an error that can occur when a mint worker manually applies the mint mark to the die and slightly misaligns it before a correction, resulting in a visibly layered or shadowed mint mark, which in this case contributes to the coin's uniqueness and desirability. And yet another contributing factor is the presence of a rare off-center strike error, where the coin wasn't perfectly aligned when struck by the dies, resulting in a visibly shifted design that leaves part of the image or inscriptions off the planchet and gives the coin an irregular, asymmetrical look that adds to its mystique and appeal. And in a truly remarkable twist, this particular 1957 penny also contains a die crack running through the Lincoln portrait, producing what numismatists call a cud, a raised, blob-like area caused by a break in the die, which gives the coin an added layer of individuality and stands as clear evidence of the stress endured by the dies during production, making the coin feel as though it has its own fingerprint, a one-of-a-kind imperfection locked forever in metal. And when all these errors converge, double die obverse, repunchment mark, off-center strike, and die crack with cud, the result is a singular specimen unlike any other known 1957 wheat penny. But the coin story doesn't end there, because provenance and condition also play a huge role in its valuation. And in this case, the coin was discovered in pristine uncirculated condition, with a brilliant red luster that reflects minimal oxidation or exposure to the elements, indicating it was likely pulled from circulation shortly after minting and preserved with exceptional care. And coins that retain their original red coloration command significantly higher premiums than their brown or red-brown counterparts, particularly when combined with rare mint errors. And to add yet another layer of intrigue, This coin has been graded by a top-tier certification authority as MS67RD, Mint State 67 Red, a grade that only a tiny fraction of surviving wheat pennies ever attain, thus narrowing the field even further and ensuring its place among the numismatic elite. And once word of its existence spread among collectors, auction houses, and investors, the coin's fame skyrocketed, culminating in a highly competitive auction where deep-pocketed bidders from around the world vied for ownership, eventually driving the price up to an unbelievable $21 million, a figure that reflects not only the coin's physical attributes but also its historical allure, market demand, and the fervent passion of numismatic collectors who understand the once-in-a-lifetime nature of such a find. And what's truly astonishing is that this coin may have once sat unnoticed in a child's piggy bank, or jingled quietly in someone's pocket as they bought a soda in the late 1950s, a humble penny carrying within it the seeds of a future fortune that no one could have foreseen. And stories like this ignite the imaginations of coin enthusiasts everywhere, sparking renewed interest in examining ordinary change for extraordinary value, because the world of coin collecting is full of surprises and the next multi-million-dollar discovery could be lurking just beneath the surface of everyday transactions. And what also boosts the mystique around the 1957 penny is the speculation surrounding possible undiscovered variations still hiding in circulation or private collections, as rumors persist that a tiny number of 1957 pennies might have been struck using leftover 1956 dies, leading to phantom overdate varieties where the 6 peeks through faintly beneath the 7, a phenomenon that, if proven, would further skyrocket the value of such coins and make them even more desirable among era collectors. And it's this atmosphere of uncertainty, speculation, and hidden potential that keeps the legend of the 1957 penny alive and thriving in collector communities. And numismatists continue to study high-resolution photos, inspect die markers, and trade theories about whether additional mint anomalies from 1957 might someday be verified and certified, adding to the lore of a year that, on the surface, seemed ordinary but beneath the coppery sheen tells a story of mechanical missteps, minting quirks, preservation miracles, and market madness. And while many 1957 wheat pennies are worth only face value, or perhaps a few cents to a dollar in circulated condition, it's the extreme outliers, the magical few with powerful combinations of errors, rarity, and condition, that command jaw-dropping prices, changing lives, and altering the course of coin collecting history. And the $21 million penny is now part of that legend, forever etched in the minds of collectors as proof that even the most overlooked pieces of currency can turn out to be numismatic unicorns. And as technology improves and more people gain access to powerful magnification tools, online marketplaces, and databases of known coin errors, we may see even more discoveries emerge from unlikely places, creating a whole new generation of million-dollar finds that were once thought to be impossible. So whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, the story of the 1957 wheat penny should inspire you to look more closely at every coin you encounter, because treasure doesn't always come in the form of gold bars or ancient relics. It can be found in the tiniest details, in the overlooked flaws of mass-produced items, in the copper glint of a penny most people wouldn't bother to pick up off the sidewalk. And that's the magic of numismatics, where history, art, craftsmanship, and chance collide in unexpected and thrilling ways. And with that, we invite you to keep exploring the coin world with us. Subscribe if you're fascinated by these hidden stories and the unbelievable value they can hold, and hit the like button if you've ever dreamed of discovering a life-changing coin of your own, because who knows, the next one could already be in your pocket.